Good morning, students. So, next, this is our last chapter according to the board syllabus, right? Not according to the NEET, but for the board. This is our last chapter, and in this chapter, we are advised to concentrate on the plant growth regulators. So, right now I'm taking plant growth regulators, that is the phytohormones, with you. But yes, when I will start with the NEET topics, then we will discuss every part of this chapter in detail, right? So here, plant growth, this is our chapter number 15, plant growth and development, and our major concentration will be now to talk about our five phytohormones, which are auxins and gibberellins. Then we will talk about cytokinins and abscisic acid, and we have to talk about ethylene. So plant growth regulators, which are also known as plant hormones, they are also known as plant hormones, or I call them phytohormones. If anyone when you are asked about what are plant hormones, you know that hormones, they are chemicals. So here also, these are simple compounds, not very large in the size, smaller in their weight, smaller size molecules, and as well as they are produced in small amounts. They are produced in small amount by the plant, and the site of production and site of their effect, that is different, as well as they help the plants in their growth and development, right? So basically, what are these phytohormones? What are these plant hormones? They are those simple compounds which are smaller in size, and the site or the place of their production and the place of their action, it is different. There are two major categories in which we divide our plant hormones. They can be promoters or inhibitors. Sometimes few hormones, they help in regulating the growth, or I will say promoting the growth. So that is, they are our auxins, gibberellins or gibberellic acid, and cytokinins, which help in the growth. Those which inhibit the growth, they are our abscisic acid. Now, inhibited the growth means they do not help in retardation of growth. They play important role when the plant, जब कभी plant हमारा stress में होता है, suppose in the stress condition due to any abiotic or biotic factors, as well as they also released when plant is suffering from any kind of wounds. So they basically inhibit the growth. Don't worry, we will see its detailed functional role about that, how they inhibit the growth. So promoters, they are our auxin, gibberellins and cytokinins, and inhibitor is abscisic acid. But 1, 2, 3, 4, there are five types of hormones. So where is fifth one? Fifth one is our gaseous hormone, that is ethylene, and it is a common example of both promoter and inhibitor. ना तो हम इसको, neither we are keeping it in promoter nor we are keeping it in the inhibitor, but it has very much closer to the inhibitory action, but it is not fitted for any specific category. So we are keeping it outside only. Phytohormones, I said these are the chemicals, because you know that the hormones, they are chemicals. So there are different types of chemicals which form these hormones, like auxin. It is a derivative of indole 3 acetic acid. Cytokinin, it is a nitrogen based purine derivative. So it is derived from basically our purine, which is nitrogen based compounds. Then carotenoids. Abscisic acid is a derivative of carotenoids. Gibberellic acid, it is a derivative of terpenes. Whenever you write this topic, just mention they are very, very important for your NEET examination. You should know that when I ask you about the gibberellic acid, it is a derivative of terpenes. Abscisic acid, it is a derivative of carotenoids. And because ethylene is a gaseous, it contains ethylene it basically has ethylene formula, that is C2H4, or I will say functional group, that is the C2H4. Now, discovery, who and when we came to know about that these are the chemicals which are important for the growth and which are released by the plants. So most of the PGRs or plant growth regulators discovery was accidental, like auxins. Auxin discovery was very, very accidental. These were the few observations which was made by Charles Darwin and his son when they were working on some experiment. The Darwin was never given credit for the isolation and discovery of auxin. This was a by chance discovery. They observed that when coleoptiles, what are the coleoptiles? Coleoptiles are basically sheath, or you can say cover around young shoot tip. It is a cover. So it was observed that coleoptiles of canary grass, they were working on the canary grass. So it was when they exposed this to unilateral light. Unilateral light क्या होता है? When light is coming from only one direction, one single source. So they show bending towards the source of light. So they observed when the coleoptiles of canary grass, they were exposed to unilateral light, they show bending in towards the direction of light. So this was the coleoptile, and it was showed that the tip of the coleoptile, it shows bending. Now this observation, it clicked the idea, that there is something or some chemical which is present at the tip of the coleoptile, which is receiving light as a stimulus, and then it is bending. So it was the conclusion that there is some chemical who is receiving light and then showing response by bending towards the direction of light. And later on, it was the work of another scientist who later on discovered that this chemical is known as auxin, right? But Charles and Darwin, they give the conclusion that there is something present on the tip which is releasing and which is responsible for the bending. Then there is another scientist called F.W. Wendt. He is known for isolation of auxin as well as for the discovery of auxin. F.W. Wendt. It is known, this scientist is known who discovered and isolated auxin. बोल्ड लेटर हो जाने चाहिए यहाँ पे इस चीज़ को लिखने के लिए, क्योंकि NEET is very specific for asking scientist name, right? So we sometimes ignore these small things, but you have to pay concentration on that. So what he did, he isolated auxin from the tips of coleoptiles of oat seedling. So he worked on oat plant that is known as Avena sativa. He observed that coleoptile of Avena, it showed bending. But he performed another very beautiful experiment. He took coleoptile of Avena sativa. He decapitated it. Means he removed the tip. Chaliye. So he removed the tip. Right. He took many plants and he removed the tip of this coleoptile of Avena. Now, he took one agar block. Basically, agar is a medium which is present in the semi-solid form on which we can grow many things in the laboratory. So, he took these agar block, small section, and on every part of agar, he placed these tips which he removed. He placed these tips on the agar block. So he placed this agar block with the tips on the. Now after that what he did, पहले तो उसने अगर ब्लॉक लिया और उसके ऊपर सारी टिप्स रख दी. नाउ ही प्लेस्ड, अब इसने अलग कर लिया इन सबको. ही प्लेस दिस वन अगर, दिस इज वन अगर ब्लॉक, दिस इज अनदर अगर ब्लॉक, दिस इज अनदर, थर्ड, फोर्थ, फिफ्थ. सो ही प्लेस्ड each block with the tips on decapitated coleoptile. Right. Now when he placed this agar block with the tip on the coleoptile and then exposed this portion to unilateral light, and this decapitated coleoptile, it showed bending. Now it means the chemical which is responsible for bending of light, it is not present in any other area. It is present only on the tip. And when the tips of coleoptiles placed onto agar block, this chemical, it diffuses into the agar block, and after keeping agar block again on the decapitated coleoptile, the bending is observed. फिर से सुनो एक बार. The moment he kept agar block with the tips on the decapitated part, it was observed that the chemical from the tip diffuses into the agar block, and when it was exposed to the unilateral light, because of this chemical there is bending which was observed. Right. But then another experiment he did. He took coleoptile, he decapitated it, he removed the tip and then exposed this decapitated portion to the light. Tip नहीं रखा उसने इसके ऊपर. He just now exposed this portion to the unilateral light, and as the result was expected, no bending was observed. So it means there is the chemical which is present on the tip only. So who gave us the term auxin? It was T.W. Wendt. Right. It was Wendt who gave us the term auxin, as well as the auxin meaning is, auxin means that is to grow. Right. Auxin means it to grow. So it was F, it was not T, it was F.W. Wendt. It is known as F.W. Wendt. So now let me make it correct. It is F.W. Wendt who gave us the idea that auxin means to grow, because auxin is the hormone which is observed on shoot tip and root tip, and tip is the area from which every other structure grows. That is why auxin का मतलब होता है to grow. Now, physiological effects and the application of auxin. There was another scientist, Kogel. Kogel, he did not work on the plants. He worked on the urine of human beings. He said that auxins, he isolated basically auxin from the urine of the human beings. But the role of auxin, what is the function of auxin in human beings, that is still not understood. Nobody explained that what is its functional role. As well as auxin also, it is found in the pellagra patients who basically suffer from the deficiency of vitamins, niacin specifically and nicotinic acid. बच्चा ये बहुत ही important points हैं. So जो patients vitamin deficiency से suffer करते हैं, they are in their urine also the auxins were found out. Auxins were there. So auxins were there. Niacin and nicotinic deficiency is known as the basically pellagra. So auxins are what? Auxins, you know that they are growth hormone, right? This is a growth phytohormone and it is a derivative of indole 3 acetic acid, indole compounds basically. Now auxins भी दो तरह के होते हैं. One is the natural auxins and one is the artificial or synthetic auxins. IAA, IBA. These are naturally released by plants, which you can extract from the plants in a very easy way. Indole acetic acid and indole butyric acid. But few which are man-made, which are made in the laboratory, in the factories, that is the NAA, naphthalene acetic acid, 2,4-dichlorophenolic acetic. Di is for this chloro group at second and fourth position. 2,4,5-T, 3 chlorines, 2,4,5-trichlorophenolic acetic acid. Those auxin which you can easily directly extract from the plants, they are free, but those which are not easy to extract in the dissolvable form, they are isolated using the organic solvent like alcohol or ether. These are called bound auxins. So there can be free auxin or there can be bound auxin. So always remember that auxins, they are, who is producing them? Growing tips of stem and root. And from these particular area, they move to the region which has to be there, where they have to act basically. From the region of their production to the region of their action, then they migrate. Basically अपनी प्रोडक्शन की एरिया से जहाँ पे उनको एक्शन शो करना होता है, जहाँ पे ग्रोथ हो रही होती है, वहाँ पे वो माइग्रेट कर जाते हैं, right? So this is all about auxin. Few functions of auxins we will discuss tomorrow, as well as we will discuss in detail about the gibberellins.